Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm struggling to get things done here. I've not posted a video for a long time, but every time I try to do one, to record one, something happens and life gets in the way and it just doesn't happen. And even now I came to sit down to do this, and then as soon as the camera comes out or the laptop to do a Zoom meeting, Bear thinks he wants to be in it, so he jumped in the seat that I was going to sit in and finally moved Bear, the big white dog, off. And then Oakley comes along and was sniffing the screen of the camera and started changing settings. So I hope, fingers crossed, that this is going to be okay and visible, because I really need to just do it and get it done and upload it onto YouTube, because it's been far too long since I've had a chat with you all. But something happened yesterday that I thought I really must tell you about. It's the sort of thing that you... Ow, he's on my hair now. Ow! Oakley. Because when Neil sits here, he lets Oakley sit on the back there. But Neil hasn't got long hair. Ow, Oakley, that's better. Come on, get down, darling. Off you go. Come on. Get down. Get down. Come on. Yeah, this is Oakley with the green collar, and Echo's got the pink collar. I've got Bear by my feet there. Yeah, yesterday it was literally down to earth with a thud. Neil had wanted to get something out of the loft. I don't know if people in America and other countries call it the loft. It's the it's an attic. I always think of as an actual room with a stair. No, don't start playing. Stop it. I'm trying to talk. With the staircase and a window. This is just the space above the upstairs bedrooms in the roof. And there's a hatch to access it. And it's not a lot of space, but we do store things up there. And Neil had decided he wanted to go up and get something out of the loft. We'd just come back from shopping. I was absolutely exhausted. So I thought, well, I'll just have half-hour lay down and then I'll go down and do the rest of the job. I thought I'll come down and make a video, but that didn't happen. So Neil's up in the loft, I'm laying on the bed, and I can hear movement above me, you know, sort of things moving around. And then there is the most almighty crash, and it's like, oh my goodness, it sounded as though he'd come through the ceiling. It was louder than, oh. So I was convinced he'd taken half the ceiling down. So I get off my bed, start walking towards the bedroom door, because he's not making any noises at this point. So I'm walking towards the bedroom door so that I can go out, see what's happened, see what help he needs. But I'm 2 or 3 steps and I just go flat down, literally straight down on my face. It's not the first time that's happened, because my balance is very bad. It does happen, but the most inopportune time. So if you can see, I have actually got a bruise on my lip and just under my nose. I must have hit the top of my head just there on the door frame as I went down, because when I was washing, it didn't hurt, but when I was washing my hair this morning, you could tell that there's a lump. I very nearly knocked out my new crown, you know, which I would have been very annoyed about, because that cost a lot of money. But yeah, so I'm kind of a bit bruised and battered. Neil, fortunately, is okay. But the reason he was very quiet was because, not that he'd knocked himself out, he didn't. But he'd literally fallen out of the loft, taken half the hatch with him and the built-in ladder to go to the loft. That had all come crashing down as well. And he'd actually fallen on top of the ladder. So he'd fallen very badly, and was literally just laying there, mentally checking himself over before he started moving. You know, have I broken this? Have I broken that? Can I move this? Can I move that? You know, because he literally worried that he'd broken his neck falling down. But luckily, we both lived to see another day. The loft ladder has completely detached itself from the loft, so that's got to be completely refitted. We were then left with where the the hatch goes to get into the loft, that was wide open, and it's so cold in the UK at the moment. We needed to get that fixed because otherwise all the little heat that we have in the house, because we don't have the heating on all the time, but we needed to stop all that heat escaping up into the roof where it would do nobody any good. But yeah, so anyway, literally down to earth with a thud, a great big thud and a thump. And you know, we're both sore, you know, we're kind of going a bit owie today, you know, surprisingly not more bruised than we are, you know. I mean, last time I went down on my face like that, I actually broke my nose. I don't think I broke it yesterday. But last time it didn't go crooked or anything, but inside is different. You know, is it the septum that goes down the middle? But that was definitely broken because it's all crooked inside now, but the outside kind of looked pretty much as it did before, so nothing major to worry about. I'm just moving the camera a little bit. I don't know if you can see, Bear's up here with me now, and I've got the other two. Oh, Oakley's coming back. I should have tied my hair up, but the thing is, if I put a grip in it, he bites on that. He's only a puppy. Aren't you? You're only 9 months old. You're only a baby. My beautiful boy. But earlier in the week I had a huge decision, or something I had to mentally come to terms with, that it's something that I really, really didn't want to do, but kind of time's running out and I'm forced to do it. And that's, I had to take Echo to the vets to arrange her spay. And I didn't want to do it because I really don't want to have a healthy animal operated on, basically. But with Oakley being 9 months old, next time she comes into season, if she's not fixed, we could very easily have an unwanted litter of puppies. And whereas in other circumstances I would love to have a litter of puppies, if it had been my last Labrador, my last chocolate Labrador, Darcy, who had a very, very quiet, loving temperament, and Oakley, who actually, although he's a bit boisterous at the moment as a puppy, he still has that very calm temperament as well. Had it been those two, then they would have made ideal dogs for training for disabled. In fact, Darcy's breeder actually bred dogs for the disabled, and Oakley has a brother and sister currently in training for as guide dogs. But at the moment, because I'm not planning to breed either of them, they haven't had all the x-rays done that they would need to do, there's loads and loads of different tests that you would have done on your dogs before you breed them to make sure that the puppies are as healthy as possible. And without those tests, it means that they wouldn't be Kennel Club registered. So any puppies that I did have would be have to be sold for a much lower rate than either of these were. And the reason that makes a difference is not because I want to make money out of it, because obviously I don't, I'm not breeding them. But if somebody can't afford to buy the dog in the first place, are they going to be able to afford all the veterinary bills and all this sort of thing? You know, there's a lot of cost involved in owning especially a big dog like a Labrador. And I wouldn't want to breed from Echo anyway, because as I say, with Darcy, who had a very calm, gentle temperament, Echo is completely the opposite. She's 2.5, but she's very skittish, and we love her dearly, but she doesn't have the temperament that I would want to pass on to puppies. Ironically, he does, even though he's a bit of a klutz at the moment. He does have a very gentle, very loving nature. But the thing is with Oakley, he's got an overshot jaw, so his top jaw's slightly further forward than his bottom jaw. And again, that's not a trait that you want to pass on to puppies. So, you know, I just don't think that they are an ideal match to breed from. So although it's breaking my heart, it meant that I had to make the decision that one of them's got to be done. I want to leave him until he's at least 2 and allow him to finish growing first. And there's evidence in male dogs that early castration can be linked to cancers and arthritis. So I want to give him every chance that I can to have a happy, healthy life. So want to leave him, it will be another 1.5 years at least before we get him done. With Echo, she's 2.5 now. She's not going to grow any bigger. You know, she's done all her growing, so it means that she's the one going to have it done. So then the decision was between having the full hysterectomy and ovaries removed, which is an open incision and they remove everything. That's the cheaper option, or we could have the laparoscopic one where they just remove the ovaries. And initially I was thinking, well, we'll go for the full hysterectomy because and the open incision, because when I've had surgery I've opted for the full open incision as opposed to the laparoscopic one. But thinking about it, they were for reasons for me that don't apply to Echo, so I want to do in that case what's best for her. And the recovery period from the laparoscopic surgery is a matter of days to a week as opposed to 2 to 3 weeks from the big general surgery. And you've got to keep them quiet during that time. And you know, when she's got a 9-month-old puppy that she's used to wrestling with on a daily basis, it just made more sense for us and our family to have the laparoscopic surgery. And it also means that we're not removing a healthy uterus, but it does mean without the hormones she won't have any more seasons, so I don't have to worry, and obviously she won't ovulate anymore, so I don't have to worry about unwanted litters. You know, we will have to keep an eye on them because you know, dogs still do, even if it's not leading to anything. You know, you've got to be careful with them. But all of Darcy's life, Darcy was never ever spayed. But when we had Darcy, my boys were all castrated at that time. And it actually wasn't that hard to keep them separated at certain times. And even now with them, if we go out anywhere, then we leave the boys in together. And then Echo goes, they only have a stairgate in between them, so they still see each other, the door's open, you know, it's just they can't actually physically get together, do anything like that, or wrestle or anything. I'm not at all worried about the boys having a set to or anything. Bear's now 15. He's not interested in being top dog. Oakley's not old enough to start vying for that, so I'm not bothered about them at the moment. So anyway, I've been chatting away. I can feel my voice is starting to go, but I thought I must just sit down, make a video and catch up with you. I've got the heating engineer coming out this afternoon, any time from now till 5 o'clock. So I thought one way to guarantee that he's going to get here is sit down, turn the video on. But he's just coming out to service the boiler. It's no big deal. So that's got to be done. I did want to wash the carpet this afternoon, but I might leave that now until he's been and gone, do that tomorrow. But other than that, I've been studying on my, I'm doing the OBOD Bardic course at the moment, so I'm studying that. And interestingly, this morning's lesson was all about changing things in your life that you need to change, and sort of aimed an awful lot at things about yourself, your personality, your relationships, etc., that you want to move on and deal with and change. But you know, I've been a therapist. I've done all the navel gazing that I need to do. You know, I'm happy with who I am. I'm happy with my relationships. The only issues that I have within relationships, I know exactly what's causing it, and have decided that I would rather live with consequences of what's going on than change what's going on. So as far as relationships are concerned, they're all absolutely fine. Don't need to change anything there. So I'm thinking my life is all chugging along quite well at the moment. What do I want to change? Feeling quite proud of myself that no, everything's absolutely fine, but it isn't. The elephant in the room is I like to live in a very, very tidy environment, and my house is anything but very, very tidy. I don't know if you can see through onto the desk, but the desk I share with Neil, and not at all tidy. So what's stopping me from tidying it all up? Well, there's two things. A lot of the mess is mine. I can't blame it all on Neil. A lot of the mess is mine, and that's things that I've put to one side to sell on eBay and then haven't yet sold. Some of them are listed but not yet sold, but there's an awful lot of stuff that isn't even listed. So why isn't that done? Well, procrastination. I've mentioned this before. I am a absolute world-class procrastinator. So I started to think about that and thought, what does procrastination do to benefit me? Why is it that I'm doing this? What am I getting from procrastinating so much? And then it occurred to me, yes, it is. It's a self-preservation tool. Because I have a lot of health issues, if I do too much, it can floor me for days, weeks, even months. And it took me a good 20 years to learn to stop before I was even close to needing to. It took me a long, long time to learn the level that I can reach before I can stop there and be all right the next day. So by procrastinating, procrastinating. Sorry, my brain's starting to fry now. But by not doing things that I know I need to do, I'm actually preserving energy. So it does actually benefit me to not do everything that needs doing, even though it annoys me. But sometimes I have to take a step back and say, no, if I do all of that, it's going to set me back, and I need to learn, and I have learned over the years to not do it. So anyway, I have waffled on quite long enough for today, but I really am trying to get back into making more videos. But as I say, yesterday I had every intention of doing it, but after falling on my face like that, I was A, in shock, B, in pain, and Neil and I both just needed to take the rest of the day really, really slow, and that meant, and the bruise had started coming out, and I didn't know how bad the bruise was going to be, so it's a case of no, bed for the rest of the day, just take it easy now. So I don't know if you can see the bruise on my lip, but it's actually not that big. For the amount that it hurts, it was a bit disappointing. Anyway, take care. Lots of love, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.